Hello, everybody. This is Natural Fitness Lifestyle. Today I'm going to talk about the diet for the natural bodybuilder. How the basics, the fundamentals first, then we're going to get into the more particulars and details that are directed towards each individual's needs. So let's get right into it. But before that, actually, I want to wish everybody a great weekend. So let's get right into it. When it comes to nutrition, first thing we have to address are the basics. The basic structure of a nutritional plan is the food pyramid. So where you have all your food groups and the priority, of those food groups. Tradition, and this is, remember, we're starting from the basics, but actually before we get into this information, I want to say that this is not meant as nutritional advice, nutritional recommendations, and not telling anyone what to eat or how to eat. This video is solely and only for educational purposes only. So let's start with the food pyramid. Traditionally, the food pyramid was established to meet everyone and inform everyone on how to approach their diet on a daily daily level. You know, everyone, everyone see everyone in society, most people work, so they're always on the go and they needed a guide. So the pyramid, so therefore the government established a guide on nutrition, and this helped the government as well as identifying the basic. Remember, this is basic nutritional recommend or needs of each individual. So the food groups are in the pyramid in the order of the most important to, or I should say, the most abundant food groups in a day that one should, that is in the food pyramid. So are the breads and the cereals. Oh, how you doing? Hey, Frank Cadillo, how are you? Hey, how's Speed? Yeah, love your name. How's everybody doing? Hey, good to hear that. Good to hear that. I'm wishing everybody a upcoming great weekend. We're talking about the food, how to eat for a natural bodybuilder. In the back in the day, the government said that there should be a food pyramid, and at the bottom of the pyramid is the foods that people should eat the most. So the, in the pyramid, the bottom, the biggest base should be breads and cereals, and they said 6 to 11 servings in a day. This is just all in general. At the the next up is fruits, 2 to 4 servings a day. So this is a guide that was established by the USDA quite some years ago. And then after the fruits will follow the vegetables, 3 to 5 servings. So these are daily amounts. And then it's followed by milk and cheese groups, which are 2 to 3 servings. And then lastly are the fat, seeds, and oils. Fat, seeds, and oils here were listed as sparingly. And then so let's start breaking this down a little bit more. Vegetable nutrients. What are the important nutrients to look for in vegetables? Vitamin K, iron, magnesium, calcium, natural sodium, which sodium is very important for the liver's function. The liver is mostly made of sodium. And, well, actually, no, wait, you want to correct that. There are high amounts of natural sodium inside the liver, and the liver needs the sodium to neutralize toxins. Magnesium is needed for muscle contraction and as well as relaxation, not only for the muscles, skeletal muscles, but of the heart. Iron for the red blood function, and vitamin K for again for the immune system. So this is why I listed these. I singled out these nutrients as very important, and also calcium for the bones and also for the heart. Hey, how are you? Lots of fat. Hey, how you Devil's Heart, man? Rocking with that name. I love it. Lots of fat. Okay, but I'm going to get around to that Nicely Naturals Homestead. Love that name. Love your name, that name. Um, Calcium is very important for your heart, for the bones, also to neutralize acids. But now we're going to get into the protein recommendations because remember we're talking. This discussion is kind of like uh, directed towards natural bodybuilding. The USDA back in the day established that between about zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Remember, these are like general guidelines. So, and zero, see here, was 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. So that would in a day would be like 46 grams for women or 56 grams for men. But these general recommendations. Hey, how's your day? Oh, good, man, good. So far, I woke up a little bit with more energy because I had a better night's sleep. How's your day going? Is house speed? Cholesterol is very important. Very, very important. I'm going to get into that because when we're talking about liver, when we talk about cholesterol, the liver and the cholesterol is synonymous. So here we go. And then the hormones, how they impact the cholesterol. We're going to get into that. The metabolism is the sum of all body process, right? Everything is working. It's body's a machine. Hey, great to hear that. It's house speed. It's these things are individualized. Now you have macronutrients and trace nutrients. What are they? They're the smaller ones, and you get less of them with food. It's hard to get them. You need to eat the. This is why fruits and vegetables are so important. And looking at having a nutritional table. But in general, if you don't have like a book to tell you like how much nutrients there are, the greener, the more color in fruits and vegetables. I mean, this I know everyone should know this. The more micronutrients and trace minerals. Oh man, that's how speed. Well, just I like to. I like to very much. It's how speed. Right now, my computer's hacked. And I'm not able to. Somebody's at the door here. I'm not able to use my debit card. I have a debit card and it's like very insecure. I'm trying to change over to in short, I don't make any payments over the internet except for Amazon. So even though I like to, if there's another way, please let me know. It's how speed. Oh, you need to eat. Oh, I'm sorry. Really sorry to hear that. Really sorry. Condolences can never replace, you know, the love that you have from a family because it's part of you. So I'm very, very sorry to hear that. It's how speed. I know that you retain her in your heart, and this gives you strength. And so she's, I'm sure she supports you every day by being in your heart and contributing, everything that you are, you know, in life as a person. So again, my condolences. Sorry, how speed. Yeah, well, See, the thing is, we're talking about sugar, but I'm getting, see, now we're talking about absorption, nicely natural's homestead. And this is where the absorption comes in. Not everybody, it's based on your metabolism. Some people have, okay, some people have insulin sensitivity. This is the liver, where the liver able to process all their, the sugar that comes in, and the cells be able to break down those carbs, simple carbs. So now fruits have something called fructose, which can be harder to uh, to break down in a way because the fructose is a longer it's just more complex than a simple sugar, and the in the body fructose in the body in a higher amounts, being that it's harder to break down, could could pose problems. But thing with thing with fructose, like say you eat a piece of fruit, it has a high amount of fructose in it. If it's not broken down properly into the cell, we're talking about absorption. If it's not broken down first by the stomach and broken down in the liver properly, then it will turn into it will turn into something called triglycerides. So fructose. So you mentioned that. It's a very interesting point. Oh, sorry, Naturally Homestead. House Speed. You have a good night, House Speed. Wish you a good night. I'm really sorry, to hear about your grandma. Really, get my condolences. I'm really sad to hear that. You rest up, and thank you. I'm very grateful, and I'm here. I'm here for you. You want to write? I got my email on my. I got my email on my page, but we're talking about getting back to the fructose and fruits, and it could turn into triglycerides, and this is where you know a person who liver doesn't break down fructose that much, you have to look at the fruits that have less fructose in them. So you're talking about cherries, berries. So if you're one of those people like me that can't eat too much, like like bananas and fruits that are thick, dense. But avoid juices. If you eat the whole fruit like a berry with the fiber, it's going to slow down your sure house beat. So this is the thing. So you could still eat your fruits, but look, again, this is not. I'm not telling you to go eat fruits, but if you're going to compare the best fruits to the best fruits for absorption of sugar are the ones with lighter sugar. The fruits that raise your sugar levels least are the berries, the cherries. They're the less dense fruits. Now you're always looking. This is why we're looking for quality over quantity. It's not how much you eat, but how much you absorb. And this is where, like something like in the case of fruits, berries, cherries, lighter fruits can be absorbed, used by the body easier. It's about quality. Because when it comes to quality, we're talking about the immune system. And this is where sometimes food is just, food is great, but but herbs are food too. Many people don't, oh, oh, well, I'm relieved. I'm relieved because it comes to, I, you know, that condition, I myself am concerned with myself too because I had some blood tests that like revealed a lot of like bad indications, but the doctors say it's just a little thing. What are they waiting for? By the time they wait, I'll be like, I won't be around to talk to. But this is why I focus a lot on nutrition. and herbs, which what herbs are food too. A lot of people don't educate themselves on herbs, and it's not their fault because they don't have guides for herbs. You go to the supermarket, they're not telling you to buy herbs; they're telling you to buy canned of this and canned of that. But it's important to look up the type of herbs, you know, herbs for immune system. I use one of the main staple herbs I use is that I use uh, licorice root. I use and water another licorice root because it's good for your liver and it breaks and it helps with the acidity. It helps with the toxins, filter out toxins. I use a lot of aloe vera again because it helps with the acidity in your stomach. If you have too much acid in your blood, it's going to destroy nutrients. It's going to destroy your bones. So for me, just talking personally, I use a lot of aloe vera. I use licorice root, but I use the licorice root extract called DGL. I use a lot of herbs for my energy level. I use things like a stinging nettles. I use rhodiola rosea. I'm gonna repeat that. Rhodiola rosea is an herb. It helps. It's been used in Russia by astronauts. It's been studied a lot, and it's been advertised to help block stress. And this is important. It helps with the dopamine levels, which helps make you feel good, but without getting you high. And it helps your neurotransmitter. It's advertised as helping your neurotransmitters. And another thing that it's advertised is the reason I take this herb is because for me, it helps my cortisol levels. Your stress. Everybody has stress, and it can really harm your body. But that's why I use herbs such as rhodiola for myself. Rhodiola to block that stress. It doesn't eliminate the stress, but it protects your body from the stress. So the natural bodybuilder has to learn which foods they can assimilate because it's all about absorption. It's not what you are. You are what you eat. It's what you are, what you can absorb. There are three things: digestion, insulin sensitivity, and the immune system. The more powerful immune system you have, the better you can recover from exercise. So there are a lot of things that affect your immune system, very daily things like your sleep, your stress level, and how much you work out. Everybody, for a natural bodybuilder, this the immune system is so important because you try to work hard, but you have no extra help, if you know what I mean. You have to do it naturally. So you have to gauge, you have to measure how much. And that's not just in a program. That program changes according to how you feel each day. For a natural bodybuilder, it's important to keep a log of how you feel. It's not just writing a program down and following it like the letter of the law. Natural bodybuilders change their program, they change how they eat, they change how they train on a daily basis. They're always getting information to know the fingerprint of your body's nutritional and activity needs. You learn your body every day as a natural bodybuilder. You're not getting any extra help. So if you do something wrong, you got to pay the price. Natural bodybuilders have to pay close attention to stress in the immune system. And you have, things like your appearance could tell how your immune system is functioning. Things like the color of your skin, if you're pale, your fingernails. If your fingernails are white and have white spots, it can be an indication of zinc deficiency. If you have a dry mouth, it could be indication of, hey, it could be a symptom of like not handling the sugar level. And let's talk about the digestion. Not everybody's could just eat the same 4 ounce, 6 ounces, 8 ounces of meat or protein. Not everybody can do that. This is where the digestion comes in. So you choose your foods that you can digest easily. Again, you are what you absorb, not what you eat. And then we're talking about insulin sensitivity. What the heck is that? Simply how well your muscle cells and your cells in your body can break down and absorb the glucose that's traveling through. Technically, there's only supposed to be a certain amount of glucose traveling in your body. And if you exceed that, it generally raises the insulin. But not everybody's the same. And you have things that would help, like help at times. It's been known to help that insulin sensitivity, like high intensity cardio, but you have to be in shape for that. You just can't just do high intensity cardio. If you want your insulin sensitivity, good. High intensity HIIT training could be good. But first you got to establish a base of steady state to know your heart rate and to be able to work at different heart rate levels. This is a natural bodybuilder. You can't just charge because you don't have that little help. You don't have that little help. You know what I mean? You're doing it on your own as a natural bodybuilder. So other things that help insulin sensitivity, like I said, you just eat less dense fruits. You can't eat, a concentrated amount of carbs because it's going to raise insulin, your insulin levels. Did you know that quick absorbing protein, the quicker they're absorbed, it can trigger insulin levels? Even amino acids like leucine can raise insulin levels. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because and this again, I'm not saying this is as a fact, this is for educational purposes. This is what's been reported in journals and studies, that the role of insulin is help not only shuttle the glucose, but to shuttle glucose, but it's to help absorb the nutrients in the body. Hey, hello there, Santiago. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. So the insulin for a natural bodybuilder, for all bodybuilders, right, will help shuttle those nutrients, protein, right, minerals, carbohydrates. Hey, how you doing? Hey, we're gonna make this a great weekend. So you don't want you have to know how your body responds to insulin. How do you know in general? You eat something, right, with carbs or simple protein. Did you know that whey is broken down really quickly into glucose in your body, and then you don't even use it? But the way to know, if you eat carbohydrates or simple protein, and after 2 hours you're tired, your insulin sensitivity, that's one of the signs, one of the symptoms that the insulin sensitivity is not good. But another thing is that if your muscles are not pumped, they don't feel strong. That can be an indication that insulin sensitivity is not on par and it's not working right. This is something for a natural bodybuilder to be concerned with and write down and make a journal of how you feel, how you're responding to your carbohydrates, to your simple proteins. For me, I never believed in just taking simple proteins. Never believed in just taking whey, but it did not work for me. I love the combination of whey, casein, and egg. Always to work the best for me. However, it's hard to find because it's hard to manufacture those three proteins. whey I use, this is what I use. That's a natural body whey, casein, and egg, a protein powder that contained all three. Again, I'm not telling anyone to use this, but this is what worked for me, and that I found as a natural body builder to work. And I also utilize things like, for me, that work well is bromelain, papaya enzymes to help. I use things like DGL, which control the acidity, because again, too much acidity in your stomach will interfere with digestion. There's pH. Everybody has a different pH level in their stomach, in their blood, and they have to make foods that will maintain that pH level. Otherwise, it'll be harmful to them. And you write a journal. This is why not all foods are created equal. When it comes to natural bodybuilder, that's never been more true. Not all foods are created equal. You have to follow the blueprint of your body, the way you were born, the way nature created you. It's different from the next person. And this is why it's called natural body building. You build your body naturally. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with that note because I think it's very important and I want everybody to have a great weekend. Take care.